Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. Today is Thursday, July 24th, and today we have Alex Koford on the podcast.
What are you doing, podcast for Lot?
Yeah.
Come be on a Lot podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, All Jammed Up.
This dude's doing a podcast. If you want to be on some podcast, come give an interview.
Hell yeah.
All
Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. Today is Thursday, July 24th, and I am your host, Clint Dotson. Today on the podcast, we have Alex Koford, who has played with Grateful Shred. He has played with the Terrapin Family Band, and he also will be playing this weekend at the Ecology Center with a supergroup that Music Never Stopped has put together. And if you're not familiar with the Terrapin Family Band, that's the group with Phil Lesh, Lesh, and some other players as well. So we have our first person on the podcast who's played with someone from the Grateful Dead. So it's a really good interview. We talk about what goes into his songwriting, what it's like playing with Phil Lesh, and something that we all deal with, whether we like it or whether we like to admit it or not, imposter syndrome. So I think it's a great interview. On the back end, we have kind of a longer Chloe's Corner for you guys today. I know on Monday we didn't really mention anything about the All Jammed Up Fest and how that went. So Chloe and I kind of reflect on that and yeah, so let's get right into it. Here is our interview with Alex Koford.
Hey, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Alrighty, guys, we are here today with Alex Koford from. You're in a couple different projects, right? Terrapin Family Band. What else are you in?
I played a lot with Phil in the Terrapin Family Band and some Phil Lesh and Friends lineups, and I just had been playing with Grateful Shred, but I'm no longer playing with them at the moment. So right now it's just Terrapin Family Band and my own thing and whatever else pops up.
Yeah, okay. And where are you based out of?
I just moved back to the Bay Area, which is where I'm from.
Okay.
So now I'm in Marin again. I grew up in Sonoma County, moved to LA in 2019 and just moved back up to the Bay.
Okay, cool, nice. And you'll be playing with, I can't remember everybody, but it's like Zach Nugent, Reed Mathis at that show at the Ecology Center in a couple weeks.
Yep. Yeah, I think Sunshine and Adam McDougall and some other people.
Sweet. So I guess let's just go back to how it all started. I mean, growing up in the Bay Area, I'm sure you were kind of around the Dead a lot when you were little, but what kind of got you into playing music and what were you listening to at first?
Well, I mean, my dad was a musician, like not a super professional one. I mean, he had a band before I was born, and so like my lineage with the Dead kind of like goes back before I was born. My mom and my aunt, her older sister, grew up in Marin and were good friends with what ended up being Phil's wife, Jill Lesh. So they were all just like best friends in high school and then continued. And when I was born, I was just kind of like born into them as family. Like we were just really close family friends.
Yeah.
But music, I have music from my mom's side. My grandfather was a jazz trumpet player. And then on my dad's side, my grandmother was an opera singer. My dad was a musician. So I just grew up around it. And then obviously like being so close to the Leshes, I grew up going to everything. I remember everything post Jerry. But I'm sure I was at something before he passed. But I was 4, when he passed, so I don't remember much of that. I was just surrounded by it.
What was that like? Like, did it kind of register at all to you that you were like growing up with Phil Lesh, or you were just like, this is just my parents' friend that happens to be good at bass?
It definitely it's not something that registered. Like I knew that he was a big deal because I would go see like Grateful Dead patches in Hot Topic or something, or whatever in a smoke shop when I got older. And I realized when I was like a teenager and I turned into like a stoner kid, all my friends had like Dead patches on their backpacks. So then I was like, okay, maybe it's cool. But being so close to it, I had no idea. It was just like he was almost my uncle. So. It wasn't something that registered. I was spending like every holiday with them, going on family vacations with them. It just felt so normal.
And were you listening to a lot of the Grateful Dead when you were like younger, or were you kind of like, this is my uncle's weird music, I'm not really into it?
I started listening to it as a teenager. So like
Okay.
when I realized my friends were into it, um, I would like, well, and also like as a kid, I remember, like I remember Jerry's Teddy Bear. What's the Teddy Bear Picnic? The Grisman Garcia kids album.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that album as a kid, and I remember Skeletons in the Closet. Like I remember that, and like listening to Uncle John's Band, and really loving some songs from that album or that like compilation. But I wasn't like listening to it until I was a teenager, and then even as a teenager, I fell in love more with like Derek Trucks. So Derek
Okay.
was, I was more into like the Allman Brothers and Derek and stuff like that. And like, I knew Phil was surrounded by those people, so it all kind of made sense, but I wasn't listening to the Dead as much.
Gotcha. So what? I know you're kind of multi-instruments, right? You play bass, you do drums. Am I missing anything?
Yeah, mostly guitar. I play a little bass, but
Oh,
um,
mostly guitar. Okay.
yeah, guitar, not bass. But I started with drums with Phil, and that was like early Terrapin stuff. Wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even playing with Phil at the time. But Terrapin Crossroads just kind of was, it was so like open and free that I was able to explore drums and guitar. And kind of like I had the
Okay.
opportunity to start my own project and have a night at some point in over the years at Terrapin, and then I started playing more guitar. And I just, because I sing, I love doing that a little bit more than playing drums and being behind the kit. But I don't know. I think vocals is like my main instrument. So whatever I can do to like get a gig
Okay.
where I can sing is kind of my goal.
Do you ever have gigs where you're drumming and singing?
Yeah.
How difficult is that? I've never had anyone on the podcast that does that, and I always think that's kind of a seems like a very tall task.
I mean, I, when I first started doing it, it was just like everything, like drumming, everything I do, even playing guitar, it's like by ear. So I've never had like a lesson. So when I started at Terrapin and stuff, it kind of just made sense that I was going to sing because I could. But I think like as I got better at drums, it definitely started becoming more of a challenge. I started realizing that um, there were things that I wanted to be able to do on drums, and to kind of like to achieve that and split myself in half to be able to sing and listen to a band and stay in time and play the way that I want to play became a little bit harder. But that didn't come until years into doing it, because
Hmm.
I just wasn't, like I was just learning on the fly, and I had the
Yeah.
opportunity at Terrapin to do that. It was like the most, I don't know, it was just like a really forgiving place. So a lot of growing
And
pains. And
yeah, who all was in that group other than yourself and Phil Lesh?
it's Graham Lesh, Phil's son, and
Okay.
then early on it was Brian Lesh as well, his
Okay.
other son. And Brian ended up going a different direction at some point, and then we continued with it was Ross James, Graham Lesh, myself, Jason Crosby, and Phil. And then at some point, Phil pulled me aside and after a rehearsal and said, "I want to bring in Nathan Graham and Elliot Peck from Midnight North. So Nathan's going to play drums, and I want to move you to guitar." And so that was another era of another era of that. So I like played guitar, and Nathan and Elliot joined from Midnight North. And that's kind of been it for the family band. We've had a bunch of guests, but those are like the two eras of members.
Okay, and I imagine you have a pretty close relationship with Graham as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
you kind
family.
of guys. Yeah, I was about to say you guys kind of probably grew up as brothers.
Yeah, pretty much. Like cousins. Yeah.
Nice. That's got to be so surreal, man. I mean, I get like I said, and we said like you're kind of used to it, just growing up with it. But as an outsider looking in, it's like it's crazy you grew up with Phil and Graham Lesh.
It is crazy. And I owe them, my life is totally different because of them.
Yeah.
They gave my family a lot of opportunities, and I mean, still to this day, I'm only playing music because they gave me the opportunity to. It's like unbelievable how much they've shaped my life.
Yeah, did you ever find any like as you got older and kind of understood the magnitude of like Phil Lesh in the jam world, did you ever feel like any pressure when you were going on stage with him?
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
had insane imposter syndrome to the point, like, unhealthy. I would, well, to be fair, like, if I look back at videos, I kind of still feel the same way. I'm like, oh, I wasn't ready to be there. Like, I wasn't on, you know, I didn't, at no point did I believe that, like, I deserved everything I was getting. I knew, like, the gravity of it, and I knew that I was really, really lucky. Really, at the end of the day, like, I was very lucky and blessed to be given that opportunity. But I do think, like, over the years it got a little easier because I realized, well, if I wasn't getting better, if I wasn't, you know, like, I wouldn't still be here. And but I struggle with that still to this day. Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with that. I mean, I do a lot of these interviews with musicians, and I'm asking these guys music questions, and I can't do anything I'm barely learning like chords on guitar now. So I understand like the imposter syndrome, and I guess my question is like, what thoughts do you have? What do you do to kind of get over that and like realize like, hey, maybe I'm not as good as Bob Weir or Jerry Garcia next to Phil, but I still belong up here. Like, what goes through your mind to remind you or to let you know to confirm those thoughts that you do belong there?
Well, luckily Phil was very, like, clear about not wanting any of us to try and be Bob or Jerry. Like, in Phil's, at least with the family band, and I think probably in Phil Lesh and Friends lineups, most of the people he played with, he at some point the conversation came up where he wanted them to just be themselves. He didn't want someone to be, a Jerry. Like, it didn't matter to him if we didn't play a certain, like, Jerry line in a song. Like, he almost encouraged that. So that made it kind of, like, easier to remember. And also, coming off stage, if I felt like I had the worst show of my life and I was just completely useless as a musician and I wanted to quit, seeing Phil after a show, it didn't matter if I could tell he was, like, wanted something out of me in the moment. As soon as he stepped off stage, he had this massive smile on his face, and he would give you a hug and be like, that was awesome. That was an amazing show. And so I always felt like, your worth is, like, tied up into the performance and stuff, because this is what we do. But then watching people, it's like the moment is happening on stage, and then as soon as it's over, like, you leave it because it was there.
Yeah.
It was like a living, breathing thing. You've experienced it. You did your best, and then there's nothing more to do. You've said all you can say, and you leave it. And it took me a long time. I used to also get, like, resentful to, like, fans that would come up after a show and express gratitude. If I felt like I played horribly, I would be like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I would never say it out loud, but it would, like, bug me inside. It'd be one of those things where I'm like, no, I know that that was a horrible show, and it would eat me up. But at some point, like, it's just not healthy, and it's not fun, and it also leads to depression and, like, feeling really worthless. And so I think, like, those feelings come and go depending on where I'm, like, mentally. I could feel really good and, like, push it aside and know that even though I made a mistake during a show, like, that it doesn't have anything to do with my ability or, like, my right to be there. And then I have times still where, like, I get in lows and it still happens. I'm like, fuck, I want to quit. I'm not good enough.
Yeah, man, I think that happens to all of us, and good on you for talking about it. 'Cause I think all of us kind of have, whether you're a musician or whatever you're doing, you just, like you said, some days you just have low days where it seems like whatever you're doing isn't good enough, and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
So, and I imagine being up there with Phil, and maybe not even Phil, but Graham Lesh, just like a big name like that, and all these people watching you, like, whether you want to admit it or not that you grew up around those guys, like, there's still an understood pressure that's there. And I imagine that, like, we always put the most pressure on ourselves, so I can imagine that making sense. That kind of leads me right into the next question I had is, like, what does your headspace change, like, when you're, like, stepping on stage with Phil Lesh and Friends, and then when you're just playing the show with Grateful Shred, these guys that, like, it's not the same as Phil Lesh and Friends. Like, what's your headspace? How do you approach those differently?
Phil, I don't know. Playing with Phil is I don't know, it was inherently different because
Mm-hmm.
he is who he is. I don't know. It's like, uh, I just, with Grateful Shred, it felt more like stepping out and having a lot of fun and way less pressure. Also, when I first joined, like, the band has changed a little bit in the last few years, but when I first joined, it felt very loose and almost like early
Mm-hmm.
60s vibes. And so that was fun to me because I came from more of like punk as a teenager and stuff. So that was really fun and exciting. It felt like I could just be myself and cut loose. And also being one of two drummers was a lot less pressure for me because I could just focus on singing. I didn't have to. I didn't have to hold everything down like I was talking about earlier, like split myself. But playing with
Yeah.
Phil, I don't know. There's nothing like it, and I think about it almost every day. Like how I wish I could go back. I wish I had at least one more gig with him. But
Yeah.
yeah, those early years, it's just I don't know. It was a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself, even though he put practically none. There was no pressure from Phil, only
And
encouragement.
I feel like I said a few minutes ago, it's kind of the way these things always go. Like,
Yeah,
there's no one putting the pressure on us but ourselves, and then we put ourselves into these mental tizzies.
yeah.
So sticking to with Grateful Shred for a little bit, I think I've seen you guys one time, and am I wrong in believing that you guys used to just do Dead covers, and now it's kind of evolved into like some original music too?
I wish. Well, there's no original music.
No, okay,
Yeah, but there were times because everyone in that band is like, so we could have been. I don't know. There's conversations we had where it's like, what should we try and like do a show where we play some originals? But that would have been amazing. I really wanted that to happen because everyone in that band is a songwriter I respect.
and do you do songwriting as well?
Yeah.
How does songwriting how does it change when like you're writing songs by yourself and then like when you're with a band and like writing a song like collaboratively? How is the approach different to those two?
I can like when I write my own music, I'm a total control freak. So I like to, and I like to work fast. So
Okay.
when I start writing, it's usually because I hear it and I feel it. I can't force it. So if I'm writing something, it's because like I like feel it coming on and I get the spark. But if I try and sit down and write something, I just get like ADD brain and I work on it and get pissed off in 15, 20 minutes and walk away. But if it comes to me, I can sit there for 8 hours and finish it.
Yeah.
So with writing with a group, I don't know. It's like playing drums with another drummer. It just feels like less pressure. So throwing out an idea and being okay with someone taking that idea and changing it and then evolving it and then throwing out another idea. So
Okay.
I don't do a lot of it though, to be honest. I haven't had the opportunity to do much of that.
Yeah, and when you are writing a song by yourself, what is it like what's the process of that? Are you like sitting down and like you have a thought that you're like maybe I can turn this thought, these words into a song, or is it more like you sit down, hit a couple chords and like, oh, maybe if I did this and added this riff, like what does it look like?
Usually it's like a melody that I'm feeling or like sometimes I'll play guitar and just kind of play a melody that feels good, a chord progression, and then uh, maybe I'm playing that for like a month before it turns into something. But at some point, I'll hear like a vocal melody, and then the words will kind of just come. So I don't ever. I find it really hard to like sit down and write a story based on something that I want to write. It's usually like I hear like a line and I think that okay, I know exactly where this is coming from, like I know, and then the next line kind of like brings in a slightly different direction and it just comes together like that for me.
Okay.
um, so it's like it ends up being its own thing, like it ends up deciding. The song almost decides like what the song is about rather than like me trying to write it. Because again, like if I try and sit down, I'll get like pissed off and frustrated and walk away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. I feel you there. So I'm sure you've played countless Dead songs. Are there any Dead songs that, like, I guess this is a two-sided question. So the first one would be, is there any songs that, like, a fan like myself, listen to all eras of the Dead, so many different shows. Is there one song that, like, this song sounds like it would be easy to play, but it's actually very difficult, actually very technical?
On what? Guitar or drums?
I can do both, one of each.
I had a really hard time with Eyes of the World on drums for a long time because there's that syncopation. But all that's coming from the guitar. And so I always wanted to do that with like ghost notes. And I had such a hard time because every time I played it, it never felt right. And then actually playing with Grateful Shred, Austin Beatty, the other drummer, like I realized when he plays that song, he's literally just going boom boom God dun dun God, and it's just clicked, and like all of a sudden I realized like it's actually easier, but it feels like when I was playing it felt hard. Like at first it felt really hard, and I listened to it and I was like, God, I know exactly what to do, but it never sounds right when I listen back. And it ended up being a little bit easier than I made it out to be. But definitely with drums, that was one. Or even Franklin's Tower, which is kind of the same vibe. That has all that syncopation. There's just something about it. It's like such a subtle thing to get that groove to feel right. Because everyone always wants to play that syncopation, and then it just turns into this weird... I don't know. It's not bad, but it doesn't feel right to me.
And then what about for guitar?
Guitar, I think Deal kind of like threw me for a loop for a while just because the changes come. Like it's like deceivingly really simple, but then when you try to play it, like the changes kind of come faster than your brain thinks that they are. So I had a hard time with that one for a minute. But I'm kind of drawing a blank on guitar. I played a lot more drums on this music.
Okay, gotcha. And then another question, is there any Grateful Dead, I feel like I might know the answer to this one, but is there any Grateful Dead songs for you that, you've heard 100 times, but every time you play it, it still like kind of hits different for you? It still like really means a lot more than some of the other songs you play?
Yeah, well, there's two for me, Stella Blue and Morning Dew.
Okay.
Those, I don't know, just both, like the lyrics especially in both of them are just like unreal to me. And one thing Jill Lesh told me years ago about Morning Dew, she like kind of said, like, you're singing this song, it's amazing. Like you should go home, really like read the lyrics, really internalize what the story's about, and like feel that pain and like the like heartache and suffering from that, and then come back and sing it. And so that's something I try and do every time with that song, because it's like the most real and like terrifyingly, almost like we all can. I don't know. I feel like we've all felt like we're pretty close to that. Recently.
Yeah, I have the annotated lyric book, and I think after this interview, I'm gonna have to go sit down and give them a good read.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna maybe say Box of Rain.
A Box of Rain, yeah, but I haven't done that one much. I literally only have done it 2 times, and that's because Phil passed, and I did it as a tribute the first show after his passing for me. And then I just did it last week, actually, for the second time.
Okay. Yeah, I found out about Phil passing in one of the, like, most, I don't really know the word, serendipitous maybe, but I was at Halloween, and I never take my phone with me on Halloween. And like one of the bands played Box of Rain, and they were like, "This one goes out to Phil Lesh, R.I.P. to a legend." And I was just like, "What the hell happened?" So that was a pretty crazy way to find that out.
Yeah.
Did you ever get to play any shows at the Portchester Theater?
Oh, the Cap?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite theater ever.
Yeah, so I want to hear a little bit about like just with that. So I lived in Westchester for like 3 months right after college, and I just never ended up going to a show there. Just never worked out. And the more I get like into the music and into the history of the Grateful Dead, I just get more and more upset that I never got to go there. So I want you to just kind of like tell me a little about the venue. What's it like playing there? Because I know it's a special, special place.
The place is, well, yeah, it just feels good. Pete Shapiro did an amazing job with the renovations, so it like feels, um, yeah, I don't know. You feel obviously he put a lot of love into the Dead. He leaned into the Dead and Garcia history of that place, but so you feel that instantly when you walk in, and that's like in the front of house and backstage and everything. There's little things that tie in that make you just feel like you're a part of Dead history just by being
Mm-hmm.
there. But the staff, everyone that works there is unbelievable, and probably like I realized playing with Phil, like Phil had a contract with Shapiro, and he did a lot of shows. Like when he opened Terrapin Crossroads, it was Terrapin, and then Shapiro stuff, and most of that was the Cap. So I got to play a lot at the Cap with Phil, and I think obviously when you play with Phil at a place like that, like the staff treats you really well.
Yeah.
And, but they're just incredible. I love the staff there. Every time I go there, it feels like going back home, almost like the East Coast version of Terrapin. All the
Okay.
familiar faces, and a lot of them still work there. But there was, I got like, I got fixated on like when I would play there with Phil, my eyes would always go to one part of there's like the numbers by the I guess like the entrances or the
Mm-hmm.
exit signs, and like I would just always look at one, and I don't know if that's because of where I was at on stage, but weirdly, like I know this sounds insane, but that's like the one main thing from that venue for me is that one exit sign with a number on it. It's just like it has a special thing for me that I can't really explain, but it almost feels, yeah, it almost feels like magical. I don't ever want to
Yes.
not play there again.
So you telling me that like looking out at this one thing, the number one. I've never asked this question on the podcast, but whenever I watch live music, it's something I always think about. Where are you looking during a show? Are you like, because there's people just staring at you, dancing, having full conversations, and like, where are you putting your eyes during the show?
I like, yeah, I try. I try my best to like connect. Sometimes I can be really shy and insecure, and so like especially when I was having a lot of the like imposter syndrome stuff with Phil the first few times that I played at the Cap, or even for years playing with him at the Cap, I couldn't look at the crowd. I could look at a few faces that were like really familiar, like regulars that would fly from the West Coast to come to the shows, and like maybe they would smile and I would smile back, but I like have this very, it's almost like as soon as I make eye contact with someone, I immediately like avert my eyes, like I'm shy or something. So yeah, now I try to at least look to the back of the room as much as I
Okay.
can. And the problem is like in a bigger room like that, you can't really see faces that far back anyways. But I do think that it's important to at least like give my attention out there, and not be completely like, I don't know. I don't want to forever be like a shoegaze dead guy. No.
Yeah. It's funny because like live here in Asheville, and a lot of my friends are in bands, and sometimes I'll go to the show and just like stare at them while they're playing, and then we'll make eye contact, and like it's just so hard not to laugh like when you
Yeah.
make eye contact, like especially in like it's like a bar setting. So like there's a bar, there's like 25 people there, and we just make eye contact in the middle of them playing. I just start laughing every time.
It's like if you have, yeah, that's what I mean. Like if there's a friend and it's familiar, I can look and like maybe a
Yeah.
smile or a laugh will happen. But if I look at someone, because chances are I'm like cross-eyed or drooling or like I just can't, like, I don't know. If I look out there, I'm thinking like, oh man, what do I look like? Which is so stupid to think about, but it's true because I always just like I space out.
Yeah. And I think probably a lot of the fans think the same thing. They're probably like, this guy's looking at me, and I probably look like I'm just like. Do you have a specific era of the Dead that is your favorite?
I like single drummer. I like Billy era, so 72, 70, what, early 73.
Okay. Do you have a favorite show from that era?
Mm, no, I have like favorite. My favorite morning dew is the what is it? It's London. No, yeah, I think it's the London Europe 72. I can't remember. I love that version. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. To be honest, man, I don't really like get super deep about
Okay.
the songs. I find it really hard to listen to a full Dead show. So,
Really?
yeah, but I don't really. Yeah, I don't have time to like sit down and listen to one 4 hour experience very much.
That's funny that you're in multiple Dead projects, but you can't listen to a whole show.
I can't listen to a whole show. I do, but I'll listen to like a whole. What is it, like the Veneta, Dark Star? I love that.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing. But like
I
after
ask.
that, for me, I need a palate cleanser.
Yeah, that's what the One More Saturday Night or the Promised Land for is at the beginning and the end
Yeah,
of that show. I always ask people what their favorite show is, and no one's ever brought up the Veneta Organ show, and that's my favorite show. So thank you for doing that.
yeah, that's a great one. Playing's great, but Dark
Yeah.
Star for me is like that's it.
That Promised Land, I think it's the first song that, ladies and gentlemen, the Grateful Dead left my home in Norfolk. Yeah, I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
So we've spent a lot of time talking about the Grateful Dead and Phil Lesh. What other kind of like jam music does it for you? Like, I guess that's a two-part question. So like, I know you said Derek Trucks, you're into that, but like, are there any bands you've been listening to for a while that you like? And are these any of these new and up-and-coming groups that you really like too?
Well, I don't listen to a lot of jam music. I
Okay.
like more recently. I kind of got more into Ween, but no, I like singer-songwriter for the most part. When I was a teenager, I liked punk, and then like early teenager, I was like very much into like pop punk because I was born in '91, and yeah, I liked reggae and ska music as a teenager. And then when I started doing like the Terrapin thing and being around more of the Dead scene music, I gravitated to the songwriters like Neil Casal. I liked, well, I love the band. I don't know. You can't, I just don't listen to a lot of like jam.
Okay.
Yeah. I
What
like,
kind of you
I,
you mentioned? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go for it.
You mentioned like pop punk and stuff. What kind of? I had a pop punk stage when I was in like freshman, sophomore year of high school. What kind of pop punk did you like?
I loved Newfound Glory.
Okay.
And I loved like I don't even know if you could just call it pop punk. I know Newfound Glory that's definitely pop punk. But I love
Yeah.
this band called like Scary Kids Scaring Kids. I liked Comeback Kid, which I guess is a little more hardcore.
That's like hardcore, yeah.
Yeah. I liked let's see.
I used to listen to like the Wonder Years and Front Bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
Foxing.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys. I still like Foxy and the Front Bottoms. Like it's kind of like my guilty pleasure to this day.
There was this band Midtown. Did you ever know Midtown?
Midtown. I don't think I've ever heard of them.
I don't even know if they were like big, but I remember like discovering them on iTunes, like a whatever early algorithm discovery thing, and like buying 2 or 3 of their songs, and I love those songs. I liked Anti-Flag and.
Okay. Did you ever listen to a band called Sorority Noise?
No.
Oh, dude, I don't know why I just thought of them, but I used to listen to them when I was like maybe a senior in high school. They're like real sad boy music.
Oh yeah, sad boy all the way.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
But that's why I now love like the sad Jerry songs.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. There you go.
It's like it's sad, and I love it. Like the heartache and the suffering, like human condition. That's what I understand.
Yeah, and I think sometimes like, you listen to music to like evoke a certain emotion, and sometimes it's nice to just like listen to music that's kind of like puts you down, I guess. Like it's kind of a weird thing, but sometimes like I'm just gonna listen to this music and kind of disassociate for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We should get a therapist on the call.
Yeah, you're probably right. So is music what you do full time? Are you doing anything else, or are you just a musician?
Music right now, there's like waves of needing to
Hmm.
fill some gaps.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I moved back to the Bay Area is when I was in LA, it was hard for me to like come home off of touring or like getting some road gigs and then find work around LA with music because a lot of the stuff just didn't really pay. But one of the reasons I wanted to move back to the Bay Area is because there's a scene here um, yeah, I'm like playing more gigs up here when I'm not touring or on the road. And in LA, I had to do like catering and
Okay.
production jobs. Like I did some PA work for photo and video shoots and stuff like that.
So
Uh,
when you're not touring and you're not gigging, what do you like to do with your free time?
I love movies.
That's one thing
Also,
about musicians I've learned in this podcast. You guys love movies. Do you love
really,
scary movies?
sometimes
Okay, because there's always
seasonally.
scary movies, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I don't like the gory. Like I don't like slasher films. They just make
Me
me feel
either,
weird.
yeah. Same.
But I like comedies. I like I like a lot of war and not necessarily war, but like
This-
conspiracy and like
Okay.
crazy like, government. Like I don't know, just spy movies. I love spy movies.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. What are your top three favorite movies?
Okay, Rain Man,
Okay.
The Birdcage,
The Bird. I've never even heard of that one.
fucking amazing movie.
I'm gonna write it down.
Robin Williams, it's so good. Anyways, number three. Um, I'm just gonna say Saving Private Ryan. I don't
Okay.
even know
That's a
why I'm saying that. I'm looking at a book that's like I'm just like I'm drawing a blank and like saying it's a great movie. I don't know that it's number three, but it's an amazing movie.
it is a good movie. So I got one last question before we wrap up here. I know you played on the farm for like at the Ecology Center back in March with Grateful Shred, and you're playing again in a couple weeks with the super group that Music Never Stopped put together. Can you kind of just tell us like what the folks can expect for this show, like what that venue is like, what the vibe is going to be like that day?
The place is amazing. It's beautiful and weather should be in just totally impeccable. But the food is really great. It's like all very fresh and just like a really cool family community vibe in a beautiful setting with great weather and great food. Like it's just
And,
absolutely gorgeous.
and there's going to be great music too. I'm excited. I wish one of these days I'm going to get out there to a show out there, but I have a wedding that weekend, so not this time, but hopefully I'll be able to get out there someday and we can maybe do this again in person.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Alex, well, before we wrap up, is there anything you want to plug, man?
Um, no, I'm just excited to keep playing music and have the opportunity to play music. So I'll see you down the line, hopefully, and yeah, hopefully can keep this up for a while longer.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Alex.
Thank you. Thanks, Clint.
You just got jammed.
Welcome back from that interview with Alex. We're back with another Chloe's Corner. Today's Chloe's Corner is presented by Reframe.
We both have our Volvo glasses.
It just gets you, it's a drink that just gets you high.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want that? So we're sipping on those. We have a lovely all jammed up recap planned for the day.
And we're back in a new setting.
This is our dining room.
Dining room, yep. As you can tell with the wine bottles, we are new roommate. So we lost gotta pick a new one.
So now we have to rearrange our rooms a little bit and redo the office, but that's okay. We'll get working on that after the weekend.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks for us because, like we said, we had the All Jammed Up Fest.
We did, and it was so amazing. It was so fun. I mean, I guess we could just start with the bands.
I'll start with if you were there, you know this, but I think I got the drunkest I got all year.
My baby got loose.
Well, the first like 2 hours, I was like very nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, hopefully people come. I know people never come like early to shows, and it was an all day thing, so I was like very anxious and nervous. And then I didn't start drinking for a little while when we got there, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna have a beer. And then I kept drinking beers.
And then the first 4 went down really quick.
And then after I had 4, a bunch of people got there. So then I was like already kind of buzzed and really excited.
And he got loose.
I guess on one more Saturday night with Kindle Street Company.
And you bonked your head a little bit.
I remember falling. That was during Sons of Stars.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it wasn't because of the booze.
No, it was there was a spilled beer on the ground. Yeah. But it was fun. I like physically could not bring myself to drink until the after party. I was like, I hardly got high.
Yeah,
I was pretty high at the end.
I would say all in all though, it was pretty successful.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was awesome. So like you said, let's start with the bands.
Start with the bands. So Pickety Split started for us. They are a beautiful 4-piece. I would consider them like traditional bluegrass. We listened to a lot of jamgrass. They were very traditional and they were so good. And they're all young.
Yeah, I think Luke's the oldest one, and he's like, shouts out to her name is slipping me right now. Talia? Her name is slipping me, but she's the stand-up bass player for Pickety Split.
She's sick.
And she just joined the 65 Northside Pickers, I believe. Let me make sure I didn't.
She was a badass. I've always admired bass as an instrument, and she just rocked that shit so effortlessly. They were super fun, and they were very talented. He's still doing his Google search.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called. But I'm going to make sure I get her name right, too, so. I think it's Talia or Talia.
I've also found out it could be pronounced Talia.
Talia?
Yeah, I have a friend named Talia, and it looks like Talia.
65 North Pickers. What did I say?
65 North Side Pickers. He just made it
North
kind
Side.
of a gang.
Yeah, her name is Tali, yes. Tali Jones.
Dude, yeah, I agree. She was sick.
Yeah, so shouts out to her. Congratulations. Hope she's still going to play with the Pickety Split Boys, too.
Yeah, they were all very nice. They were all super excited as well.
Yeah,
I heard them talking before the show, and I think they knew that like the biggest crowd would not be for them, but they were so excited to play. They were like, "No, this is gonna be fun. Like this is gonna be such a good one." I like heard them talking about it, and I was like, "That's so nice." Like,
My uncle asked in the middle of their show, he was like, where can I find them on like Spotify or Apple or anything? And then I was like, let me ask them after the show. And then like halfway into the show, they were like, and this is an original. We just put it out on Spotify. So he was like, I got it.
nice. So check
guys
them
gotta
out,
defend-
everyone. Check out Pickety Split on Spotify. They just put out a new song.
Cooper he's the mandolin player. I guess
such a
he's
good
kind of the
voice.
front guy probably. Perfect bluegrass voice. Luke has been playing guitar for not very long. If you go back to one of the early podcasts when they came on, we talk about it. But yeah, he's awesome, man. They're
I
really
would
good.
say they are very much. This is hot. I think this might be a hot take. They kind of give me Mountain Grass unit vibes, like in regards to what their talent is and could be.
That's a hot take, yeah.
It's a hot take. I think they're
But
really
very
good.
They're very
I
good,
think
yeah.
they're incredibly good. I think they all had really good chemistry together. I think
They have the same lineup as
They were
it's the
fun.
4-piece with the because Mountain Grass doesn't
maybe
have
that's why I was
Mountain
like,
Grass doesn't have a
they're the
banjo,
same.
right?
No, I think they're four-piece too.
They're 4-piece too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I guess maybe that's why I just saw another 4-piece and I was like, Mountain Grass unit. But I
They are
did
fine,
think
though.
they were very good. And then Shed Bugs opened up the jam portion of our festival, and they were really fun. They played quite a lot of originals, but
They played
everyone
some
was
good
good.
fish ones too.
They did. Well,
Was that more at the
That
after
was at the
party?
after
Okay.
party. They played I think two Fish songs at the after party.
Oh, shocks my brain.
Yeah. That was Meat Stick,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, they played that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was
Um,
yeah, they were awesome. That was the first time because we've watched a few of their shows on YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah, like the IMAVL thing. But that was my first time seeing them in person, and they were good. And those guys are fucking awesome.
Oh, they're so sweet.
Morgan and Andrew are the awesome dudes.
Yeah, I agree. And I was talking to the drummer quite a lot before the show and kind of during it, and he was also really,
Keyboard guy too.
really nice.
Does that sound like it hurt?
Yeah, it was a big one.
Andrew, shouts out Andrew, was steezed the fuck up in his dad fit. He had like
Andrew?
jean shorts. Andrew is the bass player for Shedbugs.
I didn't.
The one who came over here for the interview. He was wearing like long jean
He's the
shorts
super tall one.
with his shirt tucked in, and he had like long blonde hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember the long blonde hair because I think in my head I equated him to Sam. I guess I like to put things in groups.
It seems like it.
Long blonde hair.
Between Shedbugs and Pickety
Four
Split.
piece
Man.
mountain grass unit. Long blonde hair, Sam.
Yeah.
Those are two groups.
And then
So they were awesome.
They
And
were
then
good, yeah.
Sons of Stars.
Sons of Stars does what Sons of Stars do. We know what they're gonna do, and they delivered.
Ripped it. I think that's the sweatiest I've been.
That
I-
place was jumping.
I had it dripping from the side of my knees.
I almost like because we usually see them every Sunday, and it's 2 to 5, 2 sets. The one set where they just kind of had to jam everything in there, I liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this was our first event and everything's going to be a learning curve. Seems like more time was needed in between.
Yeah, for sure.
So we were taking notes. Because we did kind of get a little bit off track.
Well, to be fair too,
throughout.
Pickety Split started late, and then Morgan went over. Shedbugs went over. I had to walk up there and be like, "Yo, stop," because it was like 3:50, and I was like, "Hey man, it's good." And he was like, "Okay, gotcha." And then I just went into Althea, and I was like, "I'm not
I
gonna stop
can't
playing
stop during
Althea."
Althea, yeah.
But yeah, I think
And then Kendall Street, I think, had a bit of a hard time setting up as well.
But shouts out Lisa. She let us go a little later, so
Yeah, fucking love you, Lisa.
yeah, we do love you, Lisa.
So Sons of Stars did play an incredible set. So much fun.
Swannanoa Tunnel.
Let Jackson sing, thank God.
I didn't even ask for it. I
No.
heard. I think somebody told Jackson, or he asked.
Jackson asked?
I think so. Because I remember hearing it, and then I screamed, and they all started laughing. Because, like, I could hear them, like, I think Jackson was like, I think he said Swannanoa Tunnel. I don't know. And I thought I heard it, so I screamed it, and they all smiled, and then went into it, so.
I mean,
Or maybe Alex told him to. That part was when things start getting fuzzy, so.
I have a really big admiration for Jackson as a musician. I
He's the
think
man, yeah.
he is so so dedicated and he just wants to learn and he is in the mindset of I gotta be like the greats, like these people that he's meeting at these festivals, he's like, I have to
Didn't he have a shirt on that
be
said,
online with them.
the guy that we talked about, Lindsey Pruitt, and he went to his brother's camp?
Oh, the guy that he picked her up on the side of the road or something.
Yeah, he went to her brother's camp, and I think he was wearing a shirt that said it the other day.
That's sick.
Maybe, I don't remember.
The name is slipping me, but I remember
Yeah.
there was two people. We thought one was the other, but then we found out it was the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if you guys got that?
Someone go back to Lindsay for an interview and figure out who we're talking about. The name is right there, but escaping me.
Yeah, it's like Roy. Now I gotta look.
Zappa. It's
No.
not Zappa.
It's like Freedom Guy or Freedom Man.
Freedom.
Roy.
Roy Bungles.
I don't know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The people that need to know will know.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
And then Kendall Street.
Kendall
The
Street.
Kings of Kendall Street. They were so fun. That was so fun. They played a crap surprise.
Minglewood Blues.
They played New Minglewood Blues. Clint played One More Saturday Night.
I
And I kid you
screamed.
not. So all of this has been a really big learning curve, like I just said. This was a lot more stress than we anticipated. And it was a small event.
Yeah. But also, I think for a bigger event, you have more people helping. You have people who know what they're doing. Lisa was kind of just like, yeah, you can do it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it was just like a kind of a just like roll the dice, see what happens.
Yeah.
Like throughout the day, we were learning.
Yeah. Yeah. But as soon as Pickety Split went up there and they started playing, I immediately started crying. Immediately. It was like they didn't even get 30 seconds into their first song before I was like, like
It was cool, man. It was cool.
And then Kendall Street, I recorded you singing One More Saturday Night. You could just hear me boohoo crying in it. I don't think I can use it anywhere. I hope
Yeah,
it's up.
no one needs to see that. If they weren't there in person, no one needs to see me drunk singing One More Saturday Night.
It was so good.
That is one thing I'm gonna say. Stop taking pictures of people. Everyone's taking.
First off, it's an event. People are going to take photos. Second off, you are singing on stage. Why do you think people aren't going to record this?
I don't need to see it again.
Then don't watch them. But I
haven't.
want to see it again because it was a very happy moment for me. I like to relive it.
Fair enough.
I think taking your shirt off at the end was wild.
Yeah, I was feeding off the energy, man. It was wild for sure.
My mom, I pushed the phone to my mom at one point because I was shaking so
I can't
bad.
believe nobody stopped me
From what?
taking my shirt off.
Clint, I want you to know when you are drunk, there is no stopping you from doing anything. But there's not. There's no stopping you. And it doesn't matter who it comes from, who says what. A police officer could say, Clint, put that down. If you're in the mood, you're chugging the whole thing and then putting it down.
I don't know who that guy is.
But incredible. I cried the whole way through One More Saturday Night. And then I pushed the phone over to my mom because my hands were shaking so bad that it was just like, couldn't really tell what was going on. And when you take your shirt off at the end, you just hear my mom go, like make this crazy laugh, like completely unexpected. But it was amazing.
Yeah, all in
was
all,
really,
10 out of
really
10
fun.
day.
And the people that we had there with us, it's like our sweet friend Grace came into town for it. Your friend Savannah, our friend Savannah came into town. Sam is here. Our parents were here. Brandon was here. Like, a lot of people came for it, and it was amazing. It was really incredible.
It was good. So thank you to everybody who did come.
Yeah, thank you for everyone that donated money. Thank you for...
Yeah, we almost broke even.
Yeah.
We almost broke even.
Yeah. Which, like, we definitely were not expecting to at all. We had kind of come to the conclusion.
I was like, $1,500 is a success.
I was thinking 1 to 12. Oh, is it a success? I was thinking we would have to pay 1 to 12.
Yeah, I was like, if I spend $1,500 on this, it's a success. And nowhere near that. So
Yeah. I know, you were like...
great success.
You were like, I know, I just have to make sure that the money that I owe is worth the party that I throw. It fucking was, dude.
Yeah.
It absolutely
Yeah.
was. It was so amazing. And I'm excited to see what we do next.
Yeah, stay tuned. Who
And then
knows?
after the festival, we did go to the Shed Bugs after party.
That's where things really got out of hands.
Yeah, we probably should have left quite a bit earlier than we did from there. But also just very fun to hang out and dance and sing a couple songs.
She's a brick. House.
Yeah, so Clint did at some point get on the mic.
So wait, Morgan from Shedbugs asked me, he's like, would you want to sing the song? I was already drunk. I was like, yeah, for sure. I know that song, dude. And they started playing it, and I was like, wait, I only know.
He knew the first line, and he sung that first line the entirety of the song.
She's
It's a brick house. She's mighty, mighty. Let it all hang out.
She's a brick.
They played that song for I don't even know how long. I feel like they probably cut it early. That was all you were saying. You had your phone with the lyrics up. You were just repeating the first line.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is.
It's like that one day I was trying to sing along to a song and I couldn't get it. And I was like, they did the hard part. They wrote the lyrics for me and I still can't get it right.
It is hard though, trying to remember how a song goes.
Been like staying on beat. I mean, that's why I do a podcast and I don't play
Yeah,
music.
the beats are not your forte.
Today at work, so I was talking about the podcast with somebody and this dude goes, what kind of instruments do you play? And I was like, none.
I get asked that every time. Like, what kind of music do you play? None. We don't.
Such is life.
I was like, we just really like it. We just admire music a lot. But I do get asked almost daily about that.
Should we tell the people who the episode is on Monday?
Yeah.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Sugar Leg.
Sugar, 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 sugar.
He was in town for Nashville a couple weeks ago for the show with Yonder Mountain and Railroad Earth. I was like, hey man, you want to do a podcast? And we got him back.
We did, and it
One
was
of our
really,
most played episodes.
yeah.
Our most played on YouTube.
It was really fun too because we've seen him multiple times since we've interviewed him. So we do have like a pretty good relationship with him now. So all the like formalities are
Yeah.
gone, and it's just strict conversation.
Yeah, that one was fun.
And I'll always say that that's just the best way when it feels
Mm.
genuine.
Yeah, and that's like, if you like you think of like any big podcast, like like Joe Rogan, Pardon My Take. I mean, those are Matt and Shane. Like
Yeah.
they bring somebody on one time, they realize they like it works
Gel
for that
with
person,
them.
and they bring them on, and like people get to see that development of like whatever you want to call it. And I mean, I enjoy listening to that, so I'd imagine that listeners do too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a fun one. I think it'll be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're out of town this weekend, so no shows for us.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Widespread Panic weekend too. We need to let Sam in on that.
I did. I told him there's a solid pre-party, guys, at Asheville Music Hall on Saturday. It's like 12 to 8, Sons of Stars, Adam something Buried Alive, which is like a Fish cover band,
Mhm.
and then there's like 3 other bands too. 12 to 8, both floors at Music Hall.
Nice.
Music all day. $8 tickets.
That's insane.
$8 tickets.
Oh, Tanner, why'd you have to get married? $8. And I know Abby Bryant Band is playing. They're doing a couple. I don't know if it's pre or after, but I know that they're playing. There's a lot going to be going on. I am upset we're going to miss it because I think it would be really sick.
Yeah. That's
Do a
okay. That was
Widespread
a good
weekend. Yeah, yeah,
fun.
we will. It's going to be amazing.
Widespread is definitely going to play some Black Sabbath cover though. That's gonna be
Rest-
a
yeah.
fucking banger.
So I have a couple other things we need.
Just when I think we're gonna wrap up.
Sorry, it's
Just
quick.
kidding.
My first one is rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. You have to say it. I was never into his music, but you can't deny that he did something really big with music.
Yeah, he survived till he was 77. That in himself is a miracle.
Yeah, he was not in a good way. I watched
What
a
was it,
video,
77, right?
76 or 72, something like that, in the 70s. I watched a video today and they had isolated his vocals from his last concert he just did,
Like a
like
week
a
ago?
couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. And they isolated his his vocals for Mama I'm Coming Home. I teared up. It was terrible. It sounded awful.
I think that's why he died.
Did not hit a single, like, couldn't really understand a word except for Mama. And you got that one in there.
I think that's why he died. He stopped. He knew. Like, he was like, he's been doing his whole life. You just like, this is my last one. What do you have to live for anymore?
I haven't looked into it, but I wonder if, like, I'm wondering if they did that concert because they knew they were going to transition him to, like, hospice. That's my thought. Because it's so,
Conspiracy
you
theories.
all of a sudden do your, like, final concert and you die, 2 weeks later? It's either beautiful timing or it was planned. They put him on hospice. They let him pass. Which I am growing very fond of hospice. I'm like starting to grow an interest in it a little bit. So that's kind of fun for my career. It has nothing to do with
People
music.
don't know Chloe's a nurse, so he's not just like hospice.
Googling hospice stories. Tell me what they do. But that's kind of fun for a career objective, considering I do fucking not like nursing.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess it's a conversation for all the podcasts. Never mind. But I do like that idea.
Yeah, we'll continue this after.
Yeah.
And then my last bit. Snoop Dogg and Zach Brown just released their song that was written by Andy Frasco, Let It Run. It's like a song about weed. It's fun. It's Snoop Dogg and Zach Brown. 2 fun voices. Written by Andy Frasco. A fun voice. It's a great song. I would check it out. It is fun. It's a bit
about
cheesy,
weed. You're
but
telling me a Snoop Dogg song is cheesy and about weed.
an Andy Frasco song is cheesy and about weed. Yeah.
Don't
It's
believe ya.
Zach Brown that throws me off. I think he's a weird character, but I'll never meet him, so what do I care?
Maybe you will.
Maybe I will.
All Jammed Up Festival version 26, Zach Brown headliner.
That would be so sick. I had a really big, I feel like Zach Brown is Florida music. I had a very big Zach Brown phase growing up through like middle and high school.
He was huge in Virginia too, I feel like, when I was in high school.
And he's probably huge everywhere, but
Yeah.
I only lived in Florida, so for me, he is Florida music.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
When you think of the song Toes, you're not thinking about brown Chesapeake water. Thinking about the Gulf of America.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe he's talking about the Atlantic Ocean. He's in
I
the
felt
Army.
weird saying Gulf of America. Felt not right. Anyway, we can wrap this up.
Alrighty, guys. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday with Sugar Leg. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.